The infinite fertilizer system, really, you only need a $2 pipe, so if you're still spreading compost on top of your soil and hoping it feeds your plants, well, you're wasting most of its power. That's the mistake. Surface feeding looks right, but it often leads to nutrient loss, shallow root systems, and inconsistent growth, because the nutrients never reach where roots actually need them. I've tested this across raised beds, open ground, and even when transitioning plants from hydroponics into soil, and honestly, the same pattern shows up. Top-dressed compost dries out, breaks down unevenly, and a large portion of nutrients never makes it deep into the root zone. Meanwhile, plants struggle below the surface where it actually matters. Before I show you the system that fixes this, there's one small habit that makes it work consistently: how you handle your organic waste. I use a sealed countertop compost bin to collect kitchen scraps daily, which avoids a common problem: inconsistent, poorly managed waste that either dries out or turns anaerobic before it's even used. The one I use keeps everything odorless and clean, so I always have quality material ready. I'll leave the exact one I use in the description if you want to check it out. That steady input is what turns this into a continuous system instead of a one-time setup. Now here's where things start to change. The problem isn't your compost, it's where you're putting it. Most gardeners focus on what they add to the soil, but not where they place it. When compost sits on the surface, it's exposed to sun, wind, and evaporation. Microbial activity slows down. Nutrients volatilize or get washed away. Roots stay near the top because that's where the food is, which makes plants more vulnerable to stress. What you want instead is a system that feeds the soil from within. That's where the $2 pipe changes everything. This simple pipe turns your garden into a continuous feeding system. What I'm talking about is a vertical composting pipe, usually a simple PVC pipe about 2 to 3 inches in diameter, with holes drilled along the sides. You bury this pipe vertically into your garden bed, leaving a few inches above the surface. The buried portion sits right in the root zone. Then, instead of spreading compost around, you drop your kitchen scraps directly into the pipe. That's it. But what happens next is what makes this system so powerful. This is how nutrients move exactly where plants need them. As the organic material breaks down inside the pipe, microbes and worms are drawn into it. They process the material and carry nutrients out into the surrounding soil. Instead of nutrients being lost on the surface, they're released directly into the root zone. This creates a slow, continuous feeding system that doesn't rely on repeated applications. In one of my raised beds, I installed 2 of these pipes and fed them regularly. Within a few weeks, the soil around those zones became darker, looser, and full of worm activity. The plants growing nearby showed faster growth and deeper green color compared to other sections. That's not just feeding the plant, that's feeding the system. So, why does this work better than traditional composting in the same space? Well, traditional composting, requires space, turning, and quite a bit of time. And even when you do everything right, you still have to transport and apply the finished compost. This pipe system, though, skips several steps. You're actually composting in place. There's no nutrient loss from moving materials, and there's no delay between composting and feeding. Everything happens directly where the plants are growing. And because the material is contained, it stays moist and protected, which really speeds up decomposition. Now, the placement of the pipe determines just how effective it is. This is where most people either get great results or, miss the potential completely. In raised beds, I place 1 pipe for every 3 to 4 square feet. That spacing allows nutrients to spread evenly without overcrowding. In larger backyard plots, you can space them further apart, but honestly, the principle stays the same. Keep them close enough to influence root zones. In containers, you can use smaller pipes or even perforated bottles placed vertically. The scale changes, but the system still works. And in hydroponic transitions, when plants move into soil, placing a pipe nearby helps establish microbial life quickly and supports root adaptation. These details, they matter more than people think. What you put into the pipe also affects how fast the system works. Not all kitchen waste behaves the same. Soft materials like fruit scraps and vegetable peels break down quickly and provide immediate microbial activity. Tougher materials take longer, but, sustain the system over time. Chopping scraps into smaller pieces definitely speeds up decomposition. Adding a small amount of dry material every now and then helps balance moisture and prevent compaction. If the material becomes too wet or compacted, airflow decreases. That's when things slow down. So you're not just dumping waste, you're actually managing a micro-environment. The worm activity this system creates is what makes it, infinite. Once worms find the pipe, they don't leave. They feed, reproduce, and move nutrients through the soil continuously. Their castings improve soil structure and nutrient availability. Over time, the area around the pipe becomes a real hotspot of biological activity, and because you keep feeding the system regularly, it doesn't stop. That's where the idea of infinite fertilizer comes from. It's not that you're creating nutrients out of nothing, it's that you're creating a system that cycles them efficiently and continuously. The mistake that can ruin this system, if you're not careful: overloading the pipe. If you pack it too tightly or add too much at once, it can become anaerobic. That slows decomposition and creates odor. The better approach is small, consistent additions. Feed the pipe regularly, not all at once. Also, avoid adding large amounts of oily or heavily cooked food. Keep it simple and balanced. When managed properly, the system stays active and odor-free. This is where most gardeners start seeing results they didn't expect. After a few weeks, the soil around the pipe changes. It becomes softer, more crumbly, and easier to work. Water infiltration improves, and moisture is retained more effectively. Plants growing near the pipe show stronger, more consistent growth. You'll notice better leaf color, thicker stems, and more stable production. And the best part is, you're not constantly adding fertilizers. The system is doing the work for you. If you're serious about building a garden that improves over time instead of needing constant fixes, this is the level you want to reach. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not already, because this is where practical systems start replacing guesswork. Why this system works across different gardening setups. In raised beds, it creates concentrated zones of fertility that spread outward. In open ground, it helps rebuild soil structure and microbial life in targeted areas. In containers, it provides a steady nutrient source without overloading the limited soil volume. And in hydroponic transitions, it introduces organic processes gradually, helping roots adapt without shock. It's flexible because it's based on biology, not just inputs. The real takeaway isn't the pipe, it's the system you're building. The pipe is just a tool. What matters is the process: continuous feeding, protected decomposition, and direct nutrient delivery to the root zone. Once you understand that, you stop relying on surface applications and start building systems that work from within. That's when your soil stops being something you manage constantly and starts becoming something that improves on its own. At the end of the day, serious gardening is about understanding how nutrients move, how biology works, and how to create systems that support both. If this helped you rethink how you're feeding your garden, subscribe and share it with someone who's still spreading compost on top and wondering why their results aren't consistent.